First of all, I want to say that this story is completely true. Nothing has been added to make it scarier. I was 14 years old when these events took place. It all started while I was on a beach vacation. After a drive of over 3 hours, we finally arrived at our destination. We unloaded our luggage. Luckily, our unit was on the floor right above the ground floor. We put our things down and all slept for at least 3 or 4 hours. My father woke up first around 1:00 p.m, followed by the rest of the family and me around 3:00 p.m. We bought some food at a small shop near our apartment. We ate, laughed, and had a really great time together as a family. Eventually, we drifted off to sleep around 11:00 p.m. At 11:30 p.m, we were woken up by a very loud noise coming from the floor above. We were frightened, deciding to go see what was happening. My father knocked on the door upstairs. The door opened, and a young woman who looked to be in her 20s explained that her mother was epileptic and occasionally had seizures. Clearly panicked, she apologized for the disturbance. We helped her tend to her mother. After 30 minutes, the seizure stopped, and we decided to go back to our room. We were so exhausted that we didn't even take the time to process what had happened. We just went straight back to sleep. The next day, when I woke up around 11:00 a.m, I decided to talk to my father about it, but he refused to discuss the matter because he wanted us to have a good vacation. The rest of the family woke up about an hour later, having already stocked up on food for the trip. We decided to prepare a meal. After having some croque monsieur, the time came for us to change and head to the beach. We stayed there from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. We packed up to head back and arrived at the front door. Without a second thought, we put down our things and started washing off the sea salt. After showering, we ate, and then it was time for bed. Just like the previous night, we heard a massive noise coming from the floor above again at 11:30 p.m. We decided to go upstairs, but for some reason, as soon as we reached the door, the noise stopped completely. There was nothing but silence. Terrified, we decided to go back to our room. That day, instead of going to the beach, we decided to go out in the evening from 10 p.m. until 3 a.m. On our way back, the moment we arrived at our front door, that same noise from the floor above rang out again. Without hesitation, we took the stairs 2 at a time. This time, it wasn't just the noise that stopped. Their front door slowly opened on its own with a crackling sound. My father decided to go inside. 2 minutes later, I heard him scream and rush out of the room, sweating profusely. Panicked, we followed him. Once we reached the room, my father told us, word for word. When I walked in, there was a foul stench filling the entire room. I saw the mother on the floor, covered in blood, her face torn off. Her fingers and fingernails had been ripped out and were in her mouth. Her daughter was hanging above her. After hearing that, we decided to triple lock the door. When dinner time came around, we heard a knock right in the middle of the meal. I looked through the peephole and saw a girl with a bloodied face and her teeth torn out. We stayed completely silent until we saw her leave. The next day, we packed up and left very early around 7:30 a.m. We never stayed in that kind of apartment again. 5 days later, we received a letter from the landlord stating that the girls who had lived in that apartment had died 3 days before we arrived. I want to emphasize that this story is completely true and that I am still traumatized by it. Because of this, I no longer dare to go on school trips abroad, let alone stay in apartments.